webinar on what businesses can learn from Citi's focus on sustainability and low-carbon strategies. I'm Elizabeth Kerr with Business Forward. Today we are pleased to be joined by Valerie Smith, Director of Corporate Sustainability at Citi. Citi has set a goal to lend, invest, and facilitate $100 billion to finance activities with its clients that provide environmental solutions and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Val will talk about the strategy behind their plan and how other businesses may profit by implementing similar measures. For those of you who are new to Business Forward's programming, we are a national business organization that helps business leaders from across America brief Washington on how to create jobs and accelerate the economy. Over the past 5 years, we've helped tens of thousands of business leaders brief more than 450 senior administration officials, members of Congress, governors, and mayors. Today's webinar is part of a series that connects you with experts on the latest business practices that you may want to integrate into your own operations. We're also pleased to feature it as part of our Women in Business Leadership series. Please note that this call is open to the press, and also a recording of the webinar will be sent around with a quick survey via email after today's call. After Val's presentation, we will open up the lines to your questions and comments. If you have something to ask or to say, please type it in the Ask Question box on the right side of the webinar platform, and we will put that in the queue. I will read those questions, and you can add those questions at any point during Val's conversation. With that, please welcome Valerie Smith.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth, and thanks everybody for joining the call. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about what we have been doing at Citi on sustainability and what some of our learnings have been along the way. So just a little bit about my team's role at Citi. I lead Citi's Corporate Sustainability Unit, which is a corporate level unit that works across all of Citi's different businesses and regions to develop and implement our sustainability strategy. So we play a facilitating role in the company. We play a coordinating role. We also have responsibility for stakeholder engagement on a number of issues in the sustainability realm, including environment and human rights. So just looking at slide 2 now, this is the Sustainable Progress Framework that we announced in February of this year. So it's a strategy that has been in development for, well, really for over a decade. The strategy itself has been in development for about a year before we announced it. And the reason why we did this is really that Citi had started focusing on environmental sustainability issues in the late 1990s, early 2000s. And we were at the point where there were a number of different sustainability-oriented initiatives across Citi's different businesses. And we saw an opportunity to knit them together, to better align these different initiatives, to orient them towards some common goals, and really to use the sustainability strategy process as a way to better communicate Citi's commitment to this space, and also to help encourage the different sustainability initiatives that we have to move faster and further. So we worked with a cross-functional group of a number of different people across Citi, some of whom who have sustainability expertise, for example, in our operations team, and some of whom were bankers in key businesses. And we developed the Sustainable Progress Strategy, first oriented around 3 priority themes of climate change, sustainable cities, and people and communities. We identified those themes by talking with a lot of external experts, talking with internal employees, and really looking at central sustainability themes that were really important to our business. Climate change obviously is a really important issue to our business, to our global client set, and there's a lot of business opportunity there as well. Sustainable cities similarly is very central to who Citi is as a company and where we expect our business to grow. And the final one, people and communities, was actually one that initially surprised us. We were going through a process to identify these priority themes, really focused on environmental issues, and what we realized is that the intersection of environmental issues and people is so strong that it's really impossible to separate them out, because a lot of times we're talking about the impact of environmental issues on people. So we wanted to really hold that up as a central theme of our sustainability strategy, is the ability to affect communities through this work. Our activities are organized under 3 primary pillars. The first 2 are business-oriented pillars, environmental finance and environmental and social risk management. The third pillar is our operations and supply chain, and they are all based on a foundation of engaging with stakeholders and our employees to help improve our practices. I'm going to dive into each of these pillars in a little bit more detail in the following slides, and let's go ahead and move over to slide 3. The first pillar is environmental finance, and this pillar is really emblematic of how Citi views sustainability as a business opportunity. The cornerstone goal of our environmental finance pillar, and really of the entire sustainability strategy, is a goal to lend, invest, and facilitate $100 billion over 10 years to environmental solutions. This is a goal that depends on our ability to win this business with our clients. It depends on market growth and opportunity, and it's really an estimate of where our business is today and where we think it's going to grow in the future. It follows on the success of a previous similar goal that we had set, which was our $50 billion climate initiative. We did a couple of things differently with the $100 billion goal. We expanded the types of activities that we would include and talk about. We wanted to capture additional environmental activities that we finance in partnership with our clients. They're really important to cities and communities. 2 examples are listed on the slide: mass transit and water conservation. There are many other examples. When we launched the $50 billion climate initiative, we really used it primarily and envisioned it primarily as a way to better communicate about the environmentally positive, the climate positive activity that Citi was engaged in helping to finance. And what surprised us was the pretty amazing reaction that we got both internally and from our clients. Our clients saw it as a signal that Citi was sort of putting a flag up saying we are big in this business and we want to be even bigger in this business, and this is an important business imperative for us. Our bankers saw it and thought and realized that this was an important initiative for the company and something that we all want to be involved in. So it was really a win-win from both a communications and a business perspective. And the $100 billion goal was very much built with the businesses leading it from the ground up. So right now we have a number of different units and activities that are all contributing toward that goal. I list some of the different units and activities on the slide. Alternative energy finance, which does renewable energy and energy efficiency finance, is one important one. We also look carefully at our finance for municipalities and look at the offerings in that. So there's a lot of business activities that go into this. The example that I provide here is just one of many, many examples that we are counting toward the $100 billion. This one is with a small company called Kilowatt Financial, and they are a clean energy consumer finance company. We have provided them with 2 separate debt warehouse facilities, one for energy efficiency loans to homeowners and one for solar loans to homeowners. And we estimate, the client has estimated that between these 2 warehouse facilities, we will be able to serve about 30,000 households over the next 12 months. And this is important not just because it helps to green up our portfolio, because it helps to green up our customers' portfolio, but it also can be a great, both energy and money saving opportunity for individual consumers. Moving over to slide 4, environmental and social risk management. This, again, is an area that's really a business-oriented area that is founded on the idea that we need to partner with our clients to manage environmental and social risks, and we can be a great advisor to our clients who want to better manage environmental and social risks. This area of work is founded on the Equator Principles, which are an international set of environmental and social guidelines for project finance transactions. It's based on the World Bank IFC performance safeguards, and is something that Citi helped to develop in 2003, and that now has about 80 financial institutions from around the world that have adopted it. It's important to us because it's important for us to work with our clients to help them manage environmental and social risk, so that they're best managing their risk, so that our financial and reputational risk is also better managed. But this approach with clients is also important because it's such a broad industry initiative. For companies like Citi, having a level playing field with all of the financial institutions asking the same questions of clients, adhering to this third-party standard, it helps ensure that we're not competing on environmental and social risk management and who has the most relaxed standards. We really try to advocate uptake of the environmental and social risk approach across geographies and with a number of different institutions. And our goal with this has really been to transition from environmental and social risk being something that our corporate clients view as a yes or no sort of thing, to something where we're really able to partner with clients to help them meet these international standards. The example that I have here is, again, one example of many. We have a specialized environmental and social risk management team that sits in our risk group in our corporate and investment bank that reviews transactions. They reviewed over 400 in 2014. This is just one example of an equity stake that Citi was considering taking in a coal-fired power plant in the United States. The facility had a large unlined coal ash storage pond, which is not considered best practice, has potential for groundwater contamination. Similar ponds had been in the headlines with other companies. So even though the plant met current regulations, the environmental and social risk management team declined, recommended that we not move forward with the investment due to the risk. But I do want to hasten to add that while we always provide case studies in our annual reporting on transactions that we say yes to and transactions that we say no to, our goal as a company is to get to the point where we can say yes, to get our clients to the point where international standards, our own policy is met, and we're able to say yes and work with them to manage these risks and to make sure that these projects are executed in an appropriate way. It's important to us to do that both for client relationship purposes, for business purposes, but from an environmental and social perspective, if Citi's not able to do this business, there probably is another institution, if not a global bank, then a regional one that is willing. So it's I think in all of our interests to ensure that our clients can meet these policies. So moving on to slide 5, our operations and supply chain. This is the third pillar of our environmental sustainability strategy, but is really where the journey on sustainability for Citi began. We have been working on measuring and understanding and then reducing our environmental footprint since the early 2000s. We have currently about 12,000 owned and leased facilities around the world in about 100 countries, and they use a lot of electricity, they use a lot of water, they generate a lot of waste, and we are now, with the release of this strategy, at our third generation of environmental footprint reduction goals. These goals have been important for two key reasons. The first is that when we're working with our clients to help them make their own operations more efficient, to help them look at energy